I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Let's turn now to page 36 of the Grade 4 Discovering Music Theory workbook. We're beginning to have to use a few sort of detective skills here because in exercise 6 we are asked to circle the correct key for each of these melodies. So we're going to get some clues with regards to flats or sharps, but it may also be the absence of a flat, or there might be a really obvious clue, and we need to determine whether it's a particular major or minor key. And so we're going to have to kind of use our detective skills. I wonder, can I draw a magnifying glass? There we go. A magnifying glass. We're going to have to look for some clues. And so we're going to find that sometimes we might find a random sharp that's not part of a key signature, doesn't seem to belong anywhere. That could be a raised seventh. If there's a full key signature with nothing that we can't explain, then chances are it's just a plain old major. If we've got flats and a sharp, we can't have flats and sharps in a key signature at the same time, and so the only way to explain the sharp is as the raised seventh, and that will give us the clue for the minor key. But sometimes an unexplained absence of a flat that should be part of the key signature, that could also be sort of implying a natural, which is the raised seventh in a flat key. So we're going to have to look really carefully to explain everything that's present in each of these little extracts. So let's look at exercise A. It does get easier over time as you sort of hone your skills and you sort of get your eye in, as it were, as my gran used to say, and you do get used to sort of spotting these clues quite quickly, but it's just a little bit of practice and just following through the steps. So just take it step by step and it will soon make sense, I do promise. However, let's go slowly and start on exercise 6A. So what do we have? We're in the treble clef. We've got a G flat, an A flat, an E flat, and a D flat. Now, if we're going to have any of those in a key signature, we must also have a B flat, mustn't we? Now, there is no B at all to flatten, and so that's why there's no B flat there, because there's no B to flatten. It's not that it's not there and there's a B, which is a normal B, giving us the clue that it's the raised seventh. And a B natural would tell us if B is the seventh, C would be the eighth, C minor would not have D flats and G flats. The only way we can explain this is as a major key, all of the key signature is present. We've got B flats, E flats, A flats, D flats, G flats. It's just that there's no B to flatten next bar. There could well be a note B that will be flattened. It's just the composer doesn't want to write note B here, that's all. And so that's just plain old D flat major. Now here in this next exercise, this is our instant clue. Straight away, with nothing else, you've got your key. This is note C, D, E, F double sharp. And so if F double sharp is the seventh, the 8 must be G sharp. And we know that G sharp minor is related to B major, which has a key signature of F, C, G, D, A sharps. And then let's see what else we've got here. We've got a D sharp, a G sharp. That would be an F sharp, but it's been raised again. That's still a D sharp. That's a note E, so that's not going to be affected. We've got a C sharp and an A sharp. So we've got F, C, G, D, A sharps, and then the F has been raised again. So that's everything we need to tell us we're in G sharp minor. Let's have a look at 6C. So what do we have here? We have an E flat and an A flat. Now we know that we can't have E flat and A flat in a key signature without B flats. So we should have B flats, E flats, A flats. Now actually we do have a note B here, and the very fact that there is a B here with no flat at all, if there were a key signature there would be a natural there. So the lack of a flat implies a natural, and the only way we can explain this natural, because a B flat made natural is raised, that tells us that that's our raised seventh, and if B is the seventh, C is the eighth, the tonic, that tells us that we're in C minor, which indeed has a key signature of B flats, E flats, A flats, but the seventh degree of the scale has been raised. So that tells us that we're in C minor. Let's try one more together. So what do we have here? We're in the treble clef, we have a C sharp, an A sharp, and an F sharp. Now if all those were in the key together, we'd have to have F, C, G, D, A. However, we've only got F sharps and C sharps, so how can we explain? We can have F sharps and C sharps in a key signature of two sharps, they follow on together, but then there's a big gap before we can have the A sharp. So how else can we explain this A sharp? If we explain this as a raised seventh, if A sharp is the seventh, the eighth, the tonic, is B, and we know that B minor has a key signature of two sharps. It's related to D major with F sharps and C sharps, and then that would always be added as an accidental. So we could have a key signature of F sharps and C sharps, and that would be the accidental, and that makes perfect sense of B minor. So I do suggest that you just now try this remaining few. Just have a go, and just be willing to learn by your mistakes, really. So I'm hoping you've had a go. Let's try this together. So we're in the bass clef, and the one clue we've got here is F sharps. And there's nothing else that we can't explain. There's nothing untowards with that. We can have a key signature of F sharps, easy peasy. And, perhaps sometimes we can be inclined to overthink these things. F sharps simply means G major. Now then, what do we have in this next one? So we have an E flat, an A flat, another A flat, an E flat, a D flat. Now we know we can't have any of those without a B flat. So if we had a key signature with a B, E, A, D flats, now why isn't there a B flat? And it's simply because there's no note B, just because the composer didn't want to write that note in these couple of bars. Next bar or so there may well be one, in which case it would have to be B flat. We can't explain that missing B flat any other way. There's no other clue telling us it should be a natural, and if it was, it would be C minor, in which case there'd be no place for this D flat at all, would there? And so it's just plain old A flat major. It's just that there's no note B to quite fully represent the key signature. Next bar also that may well appear. Let's see what's here. So we're in the bass clef. We have a D sharp, a C sharp, C, D, an F sharp, an A sharp, a G sharp, an F sharp. So let's put those in order. We know it goes F, got that, C, got that, G, got that, D, got that, A, got that. The full key signature is present. There's nothing missing, nothing extra that we can't explain, just plain old B major. There we go. And then what do we have here? We have a G sharp, an F sharp, watch out we're in the bass clef. We have an E sharp, F sharp, C sharp. Now then, we can have a key signature of F sharps, C sharps and G sharps, but the E sharp's got no place in the key signature. You know, there's an awful lot to go before we can get the E. We'd have to have all of the others, and you know, that's just not present. However, we can explain this as the raised seventh. And so if E sharp is the seventh, F sharp is the tonic, the eighth, and we know that F sharp minor has a key signature the same, it's related to A major, F sharp, C sharps, G sharp is the key signature, E sharp is the raised seventh, and so F sharp minor fully explains that. So it's quite tricky, however take it slowly and just sort of think about what clues will give you the answer, and you know it does make sense eventually, so hopefully we will get some more practice of that though. So now then, we're asked to rewrite one of the melodies from exercise 6, but now to use a key signature instead of accidentals. So I mean we can pick any we like, so just go ahead and do so, but I think I'm going to pick exercise B just because I fancy having a go with this raised seventh here. So I'm just going to go ahead. So this is in the bass clef. Need a really sharp pencil for music manuscript. Now in exercise B, we said that that's G sharp minor, which is related to B major, so I'm going to need a key signature of 5 sharps. That's what we've been working on, so it's a good revision on the key that we've just learned as well. So we want F sharps, tall and thin, so we don't take up too much room. F, C, G, and it's these lines that cross that go diagonal, showing where the note head would be. D sharps, and then down for the A sharp. Even then you take up quite a bit of room, don't you? Now the time signature is common time, which we know means 4 crotchet beats per bar. And then I'm just going to get the note heads in first. So we have a D, ledger line, ledger line, ledger line, that's the G. Now here is the C, D, F sharp, that's it. Now the key signature is going to deal with everything else apart from that, so I'm going to just pop that in now. Back to the E, and here we can see the seventh, generally speaking in a melody, leads to the 8th. That's why it's called the leading note. It takes us back to the 8th. It always wants to resolve it very quickly, if not straight away, pretty much soon after that. It's got to resolve to the tonic. Otherwise it just leaves you hanging. It's a device that a composer could use though to sort of press the music onwards. So now it's just copying, but I don't need to worry about any of the accidentals because the key signature does all of that. So let's get the stems in place. By all means do use a ruler if that helps to keep it neat and tidy. There we go, and that's that exercise completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.